Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
Ooh, but inside so delightful.
It's Christmas in July.
Let's review.
Let's review, old chum.
Oh yes, let's review.
Bum.
Bum. Oh, you're not going to do your Adam West song?
Adam
Go ahead, Adam. Do your Adam
West.
West song. Go ahead.
Adam West. Adam West. That's my name. Adam West. Hello, fellow Cohogians. Adam West here.
Yes, greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And welcome to another soul-nourishing edition of Christmas in July, the show where we review a Christmas special every single day in the month of July. Because why? I don't know, because we feel like it. And we're in the holiday spirit early, so gosh darn it, we're going to do it. So,
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Indeed. Yeah, that's very much what it is. That is exactly what it is. So hopefully you guys are into it. We're about halfway through at this point, a little less than halfway through. You know, we've reviewed some Happy Days, some Mork and Mindy, a lot of DreamWorks stuff. I just reviewed a double dose of sci-fi with the Twilight Zone episode Night of the Meek and the Futurama episode Xmas Story. So we've been really kind of hitting all sides of the gambit when it comes to Christmas stuff. But one thing we haven't touched on yet is, outside of some notable exceptions, like, you know, I talked about Futurama, I talked about Simpsons, but really, Blue Dragon 5, this is the first all-out satire.
Oh yeah, big time.
Like, this episode is just like, okay, you know, let's just, throughout the whole episode, and I will talk about other episodes that are like this, but,
Well, something big...
Huh?
Oh, sorry, I was going to say that something big time we do here is we analyze that holiday formula that works into a Christmas special, and boys just do that in spades.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
It satirizes our Christmas formula.
Yeah, you know, like in every turn, it seems like almost every scene you're seeing things that are kind of jabbing at the formula that we here at Christmas in July have been so, you know, so delicately toying with. So this is a classic episode, you know, Family Guy, me and Blue Dragon 5, we both really appreciate it. Of course, the later seasons haven't been as strong, but I don't know. We wish Seth MacFarlane a long and fruitful directing career in spite of the disappointment of Million Ways to Die in the West, box office-wise. I know you enjoyed it. I haven't seen it.
I did enjoy it. It's not as good as Ted, but it is enjoyable. I recommend at least give it a watch.
Yeah, I certainly want to check it out. I have a feeling it's just going to be one of those things where, I don't know, like people just wanted to jump on Seth, on the, hate Seth MacFarlane bandwagon. I just get a feeling that it just wasn't a movie that people wanted to see succeed. So, but I digress. Enough getting into politics. Speaking of politics, do you have any background info about this episode, Blue Dragon 5?
Very little, but something just to point out real quick.
Okay.
So yeah, this is, as Stevie said, is back in Family Guy's golden age, pretty much. Season 3, I believe, episode 14,
yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you'll notice Family Guy early on, they didn't do a lot of holiday episodes, and there's a reason for that. I'm going to explain why. Before the second Christmas special, which we'll get into sooner or later.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that tonight.
Yes. Before they got to that point, the problem with the Christmas special is, I guess it's because either they didn't have enough pull or whatnot, but in terms of airing an episode, because it takes about approximately 9 months to make an episode in terms of television animation. Especially when it's hand-drawn. It takes about roughly 9 months to make an episode. The point is, whenever they would plan a potential holiday episode, there was always this timing issue. Whenever it would come out, it would be like the wrong season. So they kind of said, well, what's the point? So They did this. It was like their first attempt at it. Then they kind of realized, we probably shouldn't do this again because of that reason. Or like we make this episode and it comes on in May. So really, what's the point? Of course,
they're kind of channeling the Christmas in July spirit.
Well, they didn't factor that in. But yeah, I mean, later on we'll see in later Family Guy career they'll do an episode around Thanksgiving and Halloween, and Valentine's Day even. So later on they kind of just either they just kind of decide to throw caution to the wind and just say, nah, what the heck, you just can't win, so why stop ourselves from doing that? Or they just completely just gave up, saying, we'll do some holiday specials just to fill some time. Which, unfortunately, with the storytelling they're putting out now, seems to be the case. But
yeah.
Point is, this is one of those rare occasions where they did try to kind of at least put a Christmas special out that would be revisited, and I'd say this one is
definitely a modern classic. I'd say it's safe to say. I mean, it's definitely one of the more memorable in terms of the satirical pieces about Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Especially, like, one of the things that you and me have just kind of been joking about pretty much nonstop since this whole thing began was the whole no paper towels bit, which we'll get into. Yes. I think that is one of the single funniest thing that's ever been in a Christmas special. It cracks me up just thinking about it.
Well, I mean, like, just to kind of give a little taste of some of the satire we're going to cover in this thing, overall, it takes some of our elements of our holiday formula, such as
they can't get a parking space at the mall.
Yeah, well, I mean, overall, it's like certain things that will be if we haven't covered already, we will definitely be covering in the remainder of Christmas in July. Some of these plot lines, the Christmas pageant plot line, which I think everyone kind of identifies as the Peanuts. Your pageant / play.
Right. Sure.
The Seeing Santa Claus. One of my favorite holiday movies, Christmas Vacation, the family dysfunction around the holidays.
Oh, yeah.
Which factors into the third act of our episode here. The last-minute shopping, which we've kind of covered previously before. And
we've covered that ad nauseum.
Something I really love that we'll cover is kind of the fourth wall Christmas specials within this Christmas special.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But that's just touching on it, folks. I guess we should. That's all the background I really have. So, I mean, whenever you're ready, Tiki.
All right, I am ready. Let's jump right into it. So this episode is called a very freaking special Family Guy Christmas.
Yes.
A very special freaking Family Guy Christmas.
Yes.
Very, very wordy title. So we start by seeing the star on the top of the town Christmas tree, and there's a big, I believe it's a tree lighting ceremony. Am I correct?
Yeah, another factor in the holiday for me. Everyone's decorating for the holidays.
Right. And, Blue Dragon 5. That star is going to become a big symbol throughout the course of this episode.
It is indeed. So essentially, Quahog's, the city of Quahog is, they're lighting a tree. They're part of the tree lighting ceremony. Everyone's getting to the holiday spirit, particularly Lois, about the star.
Oh, she's really into it, yeah. But meanwhile, we have Chris gives Stu a candy cane, but don't stick it up your nose or else it'll hurt like hell.
True.
And then Stewie immediately just starts sharpening it.
Like a dagger.
Yes.
And also we see the tree was decorated by the senior center, and let's just say those senior citizens, they're wild and crazy kids, though.
By the way, I didn't know that Cleveland was the president of the Chamber of Commerce. How often does that come up?
Well, that never comes up again. Same thing. They reference the fact that Cleveland has a deli, but they really never visit it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I thought Cleveland
Except
was a
once.
deli owner.
I mean, you visited once, and it was just it's during the mob episode. They only visited once.
And then don't you see it in Once Upon a Weinstein too during the?
Well, a good point. We saw a deli. I don't think we saw a name for it. So.
Wishful thinking. I would like to think it was Cleveland's deli that they were in.
That would be some nice detail. I like how they poke fun at it, saying, the deli you never go to. No, I'm leaving that too. But the point is, I just love the idea of the senior center. They vandalize the tree. Says young people suck. That's their big statement they want to make around the holidays. Young people suck. Woohoo! Animal House. Yeah.
Oh, broke my hip.
The great Alex Borstein with the one-liners.
Oh yeah. So speaking of Alice Borstein, she does deliver a really nice, solid message about what is it like? she likes to drive home looking at the star, and so. Can you help me with the paraphrasing?
Essentially, she first of all, I want to say that she says Stewie is going to be in the Xmas pageant, and he says, "Let me introduce you to my friend, Mr. Irving von Pointy Stick."
Irving
Mr.
von
Irving
Pointy Stick.
Just cracks me. And then she gets
no desserts before dinner.
Yeah. Then she gets like this little lovely soliloquy, I guess, about how she loves Christmas, what it represents, like how it all about the manger. Basically, it has a special thing that it all started because of the birth of Jesus in the manger. Then directly following that,
crash cut.
Drunk Peter crashing into the manger. Happy birthday, Jesus!
7 maids a milking, 6 maids a milking, 5 maids
a milking.
Oh yes, great comedic timing.
Something to address about Peter's character. He really just has 3 goals for the holiday. Or at least 3 things he loves about the holiday.
One which is very, very noble.
Yes. Well, one, he loves the days off, being off work. 2, drinking. Love drinking.
Oh, yes.
And
but
3, and most importantly, and I'm kind of with him on this, the Xmas specials, the Christmas specials.
Especially Kiss Save Santa.
Oh, yes. We'll get into that.
Oh, my God. Oh, Kiss. Oh, that's just classic.
And now... Peter, he's really glued to that TV set because, unfortunately, there's no VCR, as we see in a very funny cutaway that he tried to tape Monday Night Football by consent by, I believe, NBC or like some of the football federations.
ABC.
No, I thought he only had ABC. You sure?
Yeah, he only had ABC, and he just.
But he didn't have the other one.
I love how he actually goes through the effort of getting ABC's written consent. And he's just like so meek about it. He's just like. Just
ABC. Didn't they shoot the VCR? Which is why my mother has a VCR.
Oh, that's just classic. Oh, that's wonderful.
Peter, he's like glued to the TV screen watching his Christmas specials during his day off and his days off for the holidays. And they're basically saying, Peter, why don't you get a tree? And Lois is all about Christmas spirit, all about the classic stuff. So she's basically she's our sane person for now, just saying, she's not so essentially, she's our motivating force for our classic Christmas formula conceits here.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Putting Stewie in the Christmas pageant, being at the lighting of the tree ceremony, getting us a tree, and basically says, get a tree. Says, commercial, runs out there, chops down a tree instantly, brings it in, and says, holy crap! Now everyone, shut the heck up. Says, no, we have to go to Joe and Bonnie's house. Aw. Can't you just tell me your mother died? Peter, you used that last time. Okay, I'll kill your mother. When the holidays get so busy?
And he proceeds to just, what does he do? Just get, a sock full of rocks?
No, oranges.
Oranges, okay. Oh, God, Godfather imagery.
But it's more so, it's like, the oranges don't leave the bruise. Anyway.
Yeah, right. Oh, God.
So they're headed over to Joe, who is very embittered on the holidays. Because as we know... They make a reference to it just to include people in who don't know, but we've seen that Joe's first episode, he was paralyzed by the Grinch.
By the Grinch, yeah.
Which, by the way, does get
in this universe.
Which, by the way, gets retconned later seasons too.
Does it?
Unfortunately, but yeah.
Do they explain the retcon, or is it just like?
They explain it.
Okay.
But it's a quick.
Are they just like? Wait, Joe, I thought you got paralyzed by the Grinch.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
they do say that. It's actually it's Quagmire. It says it, though. Wait, Joe, you said you got paralyzed by the Grinch. I lied. I wanted to make it sound cool.
Okay, well, that works.
At least they mention it. So, anyway, the point is they're visiting Joe, who's in bed around the holidays because he doesn't have... use of his legs, and Patrick Wilburn just goes on to make me laugh myself silly, especially in this scene. Patrick Wilburn is a comedic genius.
Oh, yes! Oh, I just love the gingerbread men, especially the ones with the legs. Oh, look at the one with no legs, Mommy. I wonder how his pee-pee works. Well, I've got news for you, little Billy. Not very well!
Oh, I love Patrick Wilburn. Oh, I know I'm not alone in that. I know Seth MacFarlane loves him.
Yes.
I know everyone loves this guy. But besides, he voices Buzz Lightyear too. How can you not love the guy?
I think that's like one of the most angry we ever see Patrick Warburton right there.
Oh yes. No, the angriest and one of my favorite deliveries he's ever delivered in the series. It's off screen. It's it's in Cleveland, Loretta Quagmire. It's my favorite gag in all of Family Guy, perhaps. One of my favorite gags. It's when Peter says, "To the Petercopter."
Oh yeah.
And, first time, it's just it's so played so realistic. Like, oh my God, Joe, I am so sorry. It's all right, there. It's all right. And then the funniest line. The funniest line is during the Hinden Peter. This is like the third Peter style. You see it off screen to the Hinden Peter. We see the blimp go, Peter's face on it, go across the screen, and then it blows up, and he says, "Oh, Joe, I am so sorry."
How do you have the money to afford these things?
How can you afford these things? That's the line. It is so funny.
Oh God. Oh God.
Anyway, okay. So I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah. Anyway, so so Joe's all bummed out, but. Along come Cleveland and Quagmire.
I'm Prancer.
I'm Prancer.
That's just so funny because out of all the reindeer you choose Prancer? No one talks about Prancer. I'm saying that usually it's Comet. Everyone loves Comet.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So anyways, so they agree that,
That's about sounds about as fun as archaeological empiricism. What? What?
Oh God. So yeah, Peter, he's gonna take Joe out for their little reindeer games. Yeah.
What? A wassailing.
And in exchange, Lois, I don't care. Under the mistletoe, you, me, no matter how drunk I am.
It reminds me of this other moment in the series that's really similar to this. It's Peter says, it's a suggestive joke. It's really funny. He says, "Oh, you know I get out of this, right, Lois?" He says, "I know." He says, I want anal. I'm gonna get anal." He says, I don't care how hard it. He says along the lines of, I'm butchering this, but he says, I'm getting anal. He says, "I don't care how much you complain. I want that house spotless." Basically, he wants the house really clean, being anal retentive.
Oh my.
Instead of going through the through the rabbit hole, so to speak. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh God.
Continuing on. So they're going a wassailing, and Joe, being a cop, he enforces the whole no drinking and no drinking and driving. It's so funny.
I'm a cop first and a buddy second.
So no beer for Peter.
No.
So and then Patrick Wilburn delivers such a fun line. Says, "Let's go wassailing, all right."
Yeah. So,
while they go wassailing, we see Stewie is learning about Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So he's basically a little unconvinced about Santa, because he's essentially
he's one.
Yeah, exactly. But then they explain that he knows when you're sleeping, and the whole he knows when you're sleeping, he sees when you're awake.
Stewie hates the idea of an enemy spy Santa, so that's pretty much.
So basically, what happens is he sees an ornament shaped like Santa, and he's convinced that it's a hidden camera. He's convinced. Hidden cameras. Oh, Claus, well played.
No, I like how later on he calls him Klaus.
Klaus. Oh, I think that's what he always calls him. Oh, Klaus.
It's so funny when he calls him Klaus.
It reminds me of Mr. Burns answering the phone with "Ahoy, hoy."
Reminds me a little bit of American Dad, Klaus, and more so it's just so funny.
God.
He calls him by such professional name of Klaus.
Right. Okay, so anyways,
he moons the ornament, and
yeah.
Oddly enough, that's cut from TV sometimes on some networks. Anyway, sorry, continuing on. Back to the wassailing.
Yeah, so on to the wassailing. So they're they're all singing "Rock the Boat, Don't Rock the Boat, baby. Rock the boat, don't tip the boat over."
Rock the boat.
Oh God. And then
We're going to be singing a lot during these, by the way, folks. These Family Guy oriented
most likely.
ones.
So,
essentially, I'm sorry. Which one? You take over. Take over.
So I really love the gag where where Joe, he's climbing up the lamppost. He falls, he breaks his legs, and then
no, I've broken my legs.
I love Peter's line. He's like, "Oh, you're about as funny as Sinbad. Not the comedian. He's hilarious, the sailor. But then again, he was never meant to be funny."
That is funny. Also, actually, believe it or not, that ties into our next Christmas special with Family Guy, by the way.
Does it?
Sinbad, yes.
The
sailor, not the comedian.
Oh, the sailor.
Then again, he was never meant to be funny.
How does Sinbad the sailor tie in?
I'll explain.
Now I'm really confused. Now I'm thinking I missed something.
No, it's like inspiration was by Sinbad.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, continue. So anyway, also there's a funny line. Says, "Oh, Peter, cheer up. Would you like another lemon snow cone?"
Oh God, I'm like, they're dicks. Like that's such a mean thing to do to the guy who's like willingly being your designated driver, even though he's like a blatant alcoholic. It's like, come on. Way to treat your friend on Christmas. I don't know. And yes, Peter appropriately calls him, "Oh, you guys are dicks."
Well, it doesn't say that, but it says anyway. Yeah.
Asses? Does he say asses?
Yeah, that's what he says.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So
then Stewie has a very elaborate dream.
With a Star Wars influence.
Oh, yes.
Show yourself, Klaus! Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, he has a dream.
Yeah, very, very actiony, very good lighting and everything, but eventually...
You're in my power.
Eventually, Stewie gets taken to the North Pole, where he's working on a toy car, and Santa's like, "Excellent work, Stewie." And he's got like a big old scar across his
lobotomy scars or something.
Yes. Oh God. Oh, Blue Dragon 5. That's going to come into play with the other Family Guy Christmas special.
Somewhat, yes.
A little bit.
And I love the line. This always struck me as a funny line. So anyway, Stewie wakes up because it was a nightmare. Because obviously that happened. The show would be over. So
right.
Wakes up and basically it was a dream, and he's freaking out, saying, "Oh no, I know he's not there. Show yourself, guys." What always upsets me that he rips Rupert's head off.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I hear you. And I love the little exchange he has with with Lois.
I love what he says to Lois. Lois
I don't want to have to come in there.
I don't want to have to come in there. Stay out of this, Lois. It doesn't concern you. I don't want to come in there. I don't want to come in there.
Oh God,
that's so funny.
So then, anyways, we're at the breakfast table. Peter's not hungover, and so he's watching TV. Is this where Kiss Save Santa first comes in?
Let me see. It should be. No, it's a little. That's when they're
a little later. Okay.
Oh, actually, no. Actually, trying to think. I know it's when they're shopping, but it's playing already.
I think it's right when they leave to go shopping.
That's it. Yeah,
so that's a little later.
Right. Anyway, so yeah. Also, by the way, little quick gag. Say Brian also has this lousy sweater again. Lois embraces
I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Lois embraces the holiday spirit, so she makes Brian wear his gay apparel.
Our gay apparel doesn't get much gayer than this.
And he hates the sweater, and Peter he makes a remark about Peter saying, "Oh, it's a Christmas spirit." Kind of a nice moment with Peter, because Peter he gets progressively dumber as the show progresses. Peter has kind of like a smart, swarmy moment. He says, "Shouldn't you have your sweater on?" Yeah, he puts the ho sweater on.
Oh God.
Anyway.
Okay, so Lois, she reminds Peter to get the Christmas presents out, and Brian's like, "Aren't you going to do it?" And then Peter's like, "Oh, I already gave all the Christmas presents to the
Toys for Tots."
Toys for Tots.
We should probably specify that earlier on, when they left to do the wassailing, Lois instructed Peter to deliver one gift to Toys for Tots,
yes, one gift,
and the rest leave in the trunk for the family.
But Peter made a mistake, and he brought all of them to Toys for Tots, and then he... I'm sorry?
I love the reason for it, too.
Oh, yes. Go ahead, explain the reason. It's great.
Okay. And I love my epic Costello routine. There's a big one in the next episode, but this one's kind of funny. Just it's a simple word gag.
Oh.
Essentially, basically, Peter says, no, they were from the family. No, essentially, he confused the word for from. So essentially, he basically said, why didn't we have a meeting about this? Why wasn't I told? Well, it said, we sent it. It must have been addressed from you. So I guess, well, actually, it's just simpler to just think of you as stupid. So funny.
That's one of the things I noticed about this episode is that there's a lot of just really funny Family Guy gags that have nothing to do with Christmas. Well, I mean, this has something because it's the presents, but still, just the simple wordplay, it's like you can work out of context.
From and the for,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's really good, just really filled with gags. So,
essentially, the gifts have been given to charity,
and
apparently white trash charity.
Oh yeah, so we have to take a visit to the Quahog Trailer Park, and oh god.
Peter's got an elaborate plan, involves lasers. Can I buy some pot from you? To quote the line.
Can I buy some pot from you? Yeah, he's got okay, so you'll have to form into some weird anthropomorphic dolphin or something like that.
Yes, and essentially you'll notice that in early Family Guy you'll see more so the friendship between Brian and Peter before Brian got paired with Stewie forever.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And I still I love both of those relationships. More so is that Brian would always, especially early Family Guy, he'd be the grounding voice to ground Peter and to all these crazy schemes or just stupid statements he would make. And more so, what I love about it is that it really harkens back to the pilot of Family Guy, Larry and Steve, because that was basically the main pairing.
Oh yeah! Oh man, we should talk about that sometime. Oh, that's a good special.
Well, the second pilot, I should say, the one that was on
right.
Oh yeah, cartoons, I think, or something.
The thing that always gets to me about that one is the euthanasia joke.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, and that place already has enough kids as it is.
Anyway, so let's see. So basically, before the elaborate plan could be carried out or even considered a second time, Alex Borstein, again, the wonderful Alex Borstein, who does on Family Guy, she's pretty much the 50% of the female cast.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
If not more, I'm not good with math, so I can't give you an exact percentage on that. But the point is, she is the voice of this trailer park mother who as white trash as it gets. Basically, Peter's trying to explain, no, those kids are for the family, from my family. It was a mistake, basically saying to kill them. He says, no, I can explain. Obviously, this isn't going to go well, but then we get a gag before we get out of there, basically saying, where's my VCR? And we see two white trash men in the kitchen.
Oh man.
Having carnal relations with a cassette player, VHS player.
It's my turn to use the 6-box.
Her name is Sony.
Oh god. Oh.
Anyway, so Spear has no other choice but to tell Lois what happened, and he says,
Lois, if you strike me down, I will become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
For anyone who says they've done too much Star Wars jokes, screw you. Come on. I like the third. They didn't go too far with the Star Wars specials. And, I love the little ones they had before them, too. They were great. Like
all
this,
right, so
saying, you strike me down, become more powerful than you can imagine. Anyway, take us to where we're going next.
So Lois, she is actually very pleased with Peter, because she just thinks that, it's so nice that he did it from... She thinks that he did it from the bottom of his heart. It was more of a mistake.
Well, essentially, the key thing here, she shrugs it off as, well, it was for the good of Christmas. That's going to be very...
Right, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah. And she's a little annoyed that they're going to have to do all the Christmas shopping again. And now, Blue Dragon 5, what?
No, I was quoting Peter. Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
I was saying, wait, Christmas shopping.
I really like the fact that in this special they play with the fact that they're shopping on Christmas Eve, but they actually have a really good reason for it.
Yes.
So that's points for them right there.
Oh, yeah. Again, very satirizing our classic Christmas tropes here, and they're actually giving us some credence, if not. essentially they bring a lot of something that's going to be more so in the second special, if anything, a little bit of a logical logic here and there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Why would you go Christmas shopping at the last minute? Well, because all the gifts were given away.
Exactly. Yeah.
Makes sense. And but thing. Did you want to mention the special?
Yeah. But Peter doesn't want to leave because, gosh darn it, Blue Dragon 5. There's a special that comes on only once a year that he needs to see, and it's Kiss Save Santa. Now I have this whole thing pretty much memorized, so do you want me to just go over it?
Take it.
All right. But Mrs. Claus, who would want to kidnap Santa? Somebody kidnap Santa? That does not rock!
I don't know, boys.
Keep it easy, Gene. Take it easy, Gene. Well, boys, that's for you to find out. Don't worry, Mrs. Claus. We'll save Santa to the Kiss Copter. And then, of course, they leave by giving her a big ol'.
It's like the ultimate nod to the Filmation Hanna-Barbera era. It's like what if G.I. Joe met Super Friends, met Kiss, met Scooby-Doo, essentially.
I love how after they say to the Kiss Copter, Gene just breathes fire.
Seriously, I would love to see this special.
I think Seth MacFarlane should, wouldn't it be great if Seth MacFarlane did this as a full-length Christmas special?
And in case you're wondering, that is the actual Kiss band doing the voices.
That's great.
Whenever Kiss is on Family Guy, that's actually them.
Yeah, Kiss actually has sort of a, they're kind of integrated into the Family Guy universe at this point.
And we know from a later episode of Family Guy, Peter loves Kiss. That's another reason he's watching the special.
Yeah, exactly. I like how that comes back. It's like a little bit of character development for Peter.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's just so funny, just the idea of the Kiss of all teams.
They're so concerned. I love how pissed off Gene is.
You're right. It's so funny. That's not right.
He's just genuinely just who would kidnap Santa?
If you want to, John P. McCann style, tie this into the episode, I'd make it sound profound. And again, I'm just saying John P. McCann, so he would make me believe this if he said it. If you want to thematically tie it into the episode, you could say that, okay, well, Kiss is faced with an impossible situation that they have to save Santa before Christmas is ruined. It's a ridiculous situation. Not ridiculous. It's an impossible situation. Only Kiss is up to the task to save the day. That our Family Guy characters are faced with the impossible task of doing all the Christmas shopping this late in the game. Can they achieve success? Why am I asking you this question? Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay. All right.
You want to really thematically tie it in, but anyway, so continuing on.
Okay, so they go to the ball, and as is cliche with specials like this, there's no mall parking. But you know what? Peter just says screw it and just. What does he do, Blue Dragon 5?
He drives his car over another car, which, haven't we all wanted to do that at some point?
Oh, yes.
When you go around the parking lot, you see that little yellow car, and you say, oh, you mocking me, you little yellow car, I want to crush you. Anyway.
Okay, so they're at the mall doing some shopping. Peter passes by, I believe it's a Radio Shack type of store, and,
Actually... 1 second. I just want to say, essentially, we have 3 stories going on during this little section here. So we should mention Brian was left at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he basically Lois instructing to take out the turkey or whatever at a certain time.
Right.
And so that's going to come in place. That's story number 1. Well, I'm not placing any importance orders. The point is, you got Brian doing that. You got Stewie getting ready to visit Santa Claus in the mall, and then you have meanwhile Peter's Barrette battle.
But before the Barrette battle, oh god, he stumbles upon, like I said, it's a Radio Shack store. What's playing but Kiss Save Santa? And oh god, this is just the most ridiculous thing.
Take us through what happens.
Okay, so Santa, he's in a nest with giant pterodactyl eggs, and he's just like, hurry, boys, they're about to hatch!
Santa, hang on!
hang on, Santa. And then I think it's Gene who's like, wait a minute. Everyone knows that pterodactyls can't stand the screech of an electric guitar.
This reminds me of 60s Batman so much. It's like how Batman would have like everything in the belt.
Right,
Say,
right.
I survived this death trap by simply holding my breath, Robin. It was the only thing to do.
So Kiss, they unleash their guitar fury on the pterodactyls.
But then Santa falls and he's clinging to a lone branch. Will Santa
Hold
come out
on,
of this?
Santa!
Then the TV gets bought and Peter's, I was watching that. It'll
I
be on
want
next
to know how
Christmas."
Santa gets out of that. I genuinely want to know.
It's like Woody leaping over the chasm. How does it end?
Right, right. Oh, God.
I mean, they're puppets. They're going to fall. How are they going to make it?
Okay, so meanwhile, Brian, he's watching Bob Hope's Christmas with the Troops, which is something that actually exists from 1967.
But to be honest with you, well, then I wouldn't put it past Stephanie Farm to actually be referencing that. Because
No, I'm sure he probably is.
I wouldn't put it past him. I will say there's the chance, and I could be wrong here. There could be chances like somewhat of a satire of a reference to White Christmas, but it probably is that 60 special, actually.
Yeah, it's an hour-and-a-half special. I think it looks pretty prominent, so I'm pretty sure it's a reference to that. But
that's what the kids like. The kids like Bob Hope.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I want to do is just sit around and watch Bob Hope, entertain troops.
I actually wouldn't mind watching Bob Hope entertain troops, but that's just...
Yeah, I wouldn't either. It actually does sound like nice comfort TV, for a sick day or something.
Yeah.
Got a flu. Well, Bob Hope entertaining troops. Oh, God. But anyways, so Brian goes to get the turkey out, but then... Malone Cole jumps onto the carpet from the fireplace and starts a big fire. And, oh God. So Brian grabs a fire extinguisher that is filled with...
He grabs the fire extinguisher, and we think it's going to extinguish the fires. Actually, no. It's full of trick snakes, and we see it's... not a real fire extinguisher. It is, in fact, a novelty fire extinguisher, which, by the way, don't say it yet, Diggy. That's going to be my favorite line coming up soon. But point is, fire's getting... Now it's been fed even further. It's growing larger and larger, and now madness is happening. Do we cut back to Stewie, or do we...
Yeah, I think this is where Stewie's thing comes in. You want to take that?
Yeah, so Stewie, essentially, he's in line to see Santa, which he says... Woman, change me. I won't face him wet. Point is, he's seeing Santa Claus, obviously a guy in a beard.
Right.
Basically saying, have you been a good boy? Essentially, he's bargaining with Santa
I love
Claus.
how he basically turns "Have you been a good boy" into essentially a philosophical debate.
That's like a Star Trek philosophy. Are any of us good? Can any of us actually be good? Okay, Klaus. Okay, Kringle. You're shrewd, Kringle. Okay. I'll be good. And in return, you'll compensate me with plutonium? Smile. Mace says, okay, yeah. And he smile, and seriously, his head turned, and the great smile. That's how that goes. Meanwhile, do we go to Peter or do we go to Brian?
I think now we go to Peter. All right, Meg's Barrettes. You mean Julie's Barrettes.
Alex Borstein doing another voice.
So then we get another great Family Guy chase scene. My favorite bit in this, Blue Dragon 5, is, oh God, it cracks me up when they're on the escalator.
Oh yeah, you're right. So essentially,
Peter's just like, he's just looking at her so dramatic. He's just like, I
love. I have an affinity for the mundane, and that's one of those examples. Just these two people are in a high-speed chase. First of all, I just want to point something out. After she strikes the first blow, after he licks the berets.
Oh yeah, that's.
He
and still what a now, broad.
After that, something really funny happens. Is that you'll notice they do this occasionally, Peter on Family Guy, at least in the early seasons. Mm-hmm. He'll go out of his way to push somebody in an action scene. So he you'll notice there's a guy standing to his right. He goes out of his way to push him before getting into the chase, because apparently people do that in action movies. which is true. So he gets into a high-speed chase. He's all amped up. They're all amped up, and then they calmly get on the escalator, and basically he looks all determined, basically beating the hand on the escalator. Go faster, go faster. Without realizing the simple realization you can actually move on an escalator and it might kill you.
Oh, that just tickles me. I just love that.
And I love the music too. The music just scoring like it's still an action chase going on.
Oh yeah.
Then something really funny happens. So they
run into the age of aquariums.
Oh yeah.
And the old lady throws fish food on him.
First of all, he says, "None of the yellow tang and clownfish in the world can save." It sounds like an old 40s movie, which is great. And anyway, so basically, she throws fish food at him. One of my favorite lines. Excuse me. He says, "Fish food? That's your ace in the hole." Fish food, and then basically all the fish illogically jump out and they adhere themselves to Peter eating the food that has been thrown on his skin as she makes a hasty retreat.
I love how
oh God, holy crap!
She's like just laughing along with him, like very like almost cruelly. You know what I mean? She's like, "Oh yeah, bastard, you're gonna get what's coming." Oh, yeah. Oh God. So meanwhile, we check back in with Brian. You know, he's found the fire extinguisher. He's put out the fire, but then, oh no, the turkey! And so he can't find oven mitts, and he runs into the living room and crashes into the TV.
That really makes you go ouch, because like he slips on the fire, and then the TV just falls on, which is by the way, is replicated in Ted to some degree.
Is it really? Oh, that's cool.
Mark Wahlberg gets crushed by a TV in a similar manner.
Oh. That's funny.
It's kind of funny.
But
just given how small Brian is, though, looks so much more painful.
Right. Oh God.
His head literally goes in the TV.
So the Griffins, they're
on the car ride home.
They're driving home. Lois points out, "Oh, look at the star, everyone." Peter, he's kind of traumatized. He says,
"They were everywhere, Lois.
They were everywhere. One of them whispered it's something anti-Semitic in my ear."
And I think one of them muttered something anti-Semitic.
Oh God. So so Lois, she's very into the spirit. She's all into following the star home, like the three wise men, and
we have a cutaway to the wise men. I love this cutaway. Again, I love the mundane. It's like almost like a Curb Your Enthusiasm level gag.
Right.
The three wise men are kind of getting into a discussion on the way, basically saying, "What'd you get them?" "Oh, I got them some myrrh and some frankincense. They got them some gold. Gold? We
talked about this. There was a $5 budget."
Says, okay, look, here's what we'll do. We'll just group them together and put an arrow. No, take a chance. What are you doing? But you know they went with that.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so they get home and place is in shambles. Peter is horrified by. Lois is the only one who's actually concerned. So Lois is the only one who's actually concerned, saying, "Oh, Brian, what happened? Are you okay?"
Right. Yeah, because Brian, he's literally burnt his hands like. Down. Yeah. He's burnt all the fur off his hands getting the turkey out.
You'll see him continually wrapping gauze on the hand burns and the medical tape on the burns and so forth. And also, I love Chris. Chris has a funny line saying, "I knew we should have left cookies for Santa." And then Peter's reaction basically sees the crushed TV, says, "Ah!" Because that's his whole life during the holidays.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
Brian delivers my favorite line. Brian, and just to remind folks that Stephanie Farrell's real voice is Brian Griffin, in case you didn't. Says, "Who buys a novelty fire extinguisher? Someone who values good physical comedy over the safety of his family. That's who."
I love how proud Peter is when he's delivering that line.
Not for a moment does he feel
putting on his jacket.
Not for a moment does he feel guilty. Then Lois is playing peacemaker like we know she does.
Here we go.
It's okay, so again, this is kind of feed into that part of the formula, the whole dysfunctional family aspect. More so one of my favorites, Christmas Vacation, where basically Clark is like apologizing for the way he's acted when he gets the Christmas bonus, supposedly.
Right, right.
Or like the better scene where his father's like saying, son, just things went terrible. This has been an awful holiday, but don't worry about it. We're all here for you. Essentially that scene, basically saying, so things have gotten a little wrecked. So things haven't gone the way we thought they were for the holidays. But look, we cleaned the mess up, and we'll still be together for all these. Basically, then Peter says, your mother's right. I mean, we haven't been really acting like a family. She's been doing all this work for us, and that. She's right. We got to pull together, essentially along those lines. Unless you can phrase it better, Tiki.
No, you're pretty much right on.
Then,
So she's like, well, of course I'm right. Now, Meg, grab me some paper towels, and let's clean this place up.
No paper towels, Mom.
No paper towels!
Throws turkey from the smashed oven saying, Christmas falls out of my holly jolly butt!
So you could all ride a one-horse open sleigh to hell!
You people do nothing for the holidays. And then she crashes through like Margot Kidder, and she's running out of the house. And that's a mean joke. I'm sorry. They did it on Family Guy. That's the thing. She literally crashed through the window. Anyway, so then Meg, just another reason I kind of might be the show is rubbing off on me nowadays. Not so much the case, but I just accepted the hate for Meg because I said, there's no really reason to kind of like Meg.
Yeah.
Because I kind of easily jump on the bandwagon of hating Meg with the family.
Right.
But then she says, oh, wait, here are the paper towels. She screwed everything up because she didn't look.
Don't worry, everyone. Don't worry. Here on the So You Want to Be an Imagineer YouTube channel, we always have paper towels.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So, what happens next? So now she's crashed out
of
the window
Oh, God.
Rampage.
First of all, I just must say that the whole, here are the paper towels thing is, like, one of the best act breaks. It's like, it doesn't get much better than that.
True. And first of all, that subverts our expectations.
Right.
In which we think, okay, well, the story's going to end there, and then we're just going to clean things up, and it'll be kind of a little simple. But then, Family in classic fashion, they turn it on do the reverse, do the opposite. They have that Family Guy spin on it, where the most rational person in the family now is going nuts.
Yes.
Which Lois's character, before they butchered her later seasons, she would be kind of like she is that rational person, the one who's like the only sane member of the family, barring I guess Meg or Brian at times. But then again, they kind of
Brian some credit.
And barring that, but then Lois will have her crazy moments, like when she's stricken with kleptomania, or she has anorexia, a bunch of stuff that happens to Lois. She'll have that crazy streak to her, which is something that Alex Borstein loves about the character. Which unfortunately, now in Family Guy, that's her whole character, the crazy side, which is silly.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that's brought up in the opening song of the next special we're reviewing. I'm just like, wait, what? Where the hell did that come from?
Yeah, that's kind of. So anyway, so let's see. One last thing. So we kind of glaze over it. Fourth wall. Just the fourth wall idea appears. Loves a special while he's in a Christmas special. Just something I want to mention real quick.
Yeah.
Just the fourth wall, like a character who's in a Christmas special loving other Christmas specials. I like that. It's a smart conceit.
Oh yes.
Anyway, continue. So where are we going with Lois now?
Okay, so Lois, she's so mad. Her anger has transcended
other holiday specials.
Yes.
So I was going somewhere with it after all. So we're actually breaking the fourth wall in the other holiday specials.
Oh yes.
So we go into It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Clarence, I want to live again. And then the one I think is most horrific because I love snowmen.
Oh God. Do you want to build a snowman?
Well, in this case, do you want to melt the snowman? Because unfortunately, there's a lot of reference for it too. Because essentially, aside from some coloration details, which they have to do legally speaking,
sure.
You'll notice Frosty the Snowman. It pretty much looks like Frosty, just with a blue nose. And Karen is a dead ringer for Karen, just minus like a hair color and Alex Borstein's voice. So essentially saying, "What's your problem, lady?" Because she shoves
No, she literally punches Frosty's head straight off of it.
Oh yeah, punches.
just for him wishing her a Merry Christmas.
I love how Frosty, just 2 seconds after he's been brought to life, he has an attitude, and he's saying,
"Hey, he gets all antagonistic.
Let it go, Frosty. Let it go." He says, "Hey, what's okay? Don't start."
Hey, lady, if you got something to say it to my face.
And then she does after she basically says, there's no point to the holidays, essentially.
Mm-hmm. And,
she lights a match on his face, grabs some hooch from your friendly neighborhood alcoholic on the street, and proceeds to pull a Grinch and light his face on fire. Well, light him on fire, I should say. With a quick spitting of alcohol and lighting it on fire, because that's how science works.
Oh, yes.
And essentially sets the snowman ablaze, melting him, and then the hat blows off, and the kids foolishly put the burning hat on the melting snowman.
Take it off!
Which is very funny. Anyway.
Okay, so then she sees the star that she is so fondly spoken of throughout this episode, and she just goes ballistic, and she's just like, must kill star. So back at the Griffin household, they're wondering where Lois has gone to, and then
how about selfish Peter is saying, do we even
want her back? Yeah. I think the question at this point, Chris, is if this is how she's going to act around Christmas, do we even want her back? I mean, really? Just around one season? I mean, it's like, I could understand if this is how she's going to act, like, all the time. Then, yeah, maybe she needs to get some hospitalization or something. But if it's just a little Christmas freak out, I mean, come on, everyone has a Christmas freak out.
Well, it's more so it's Peter so stupid he doesn't realize it was actually completely justified.
Right, exactly. So Stewie, he comes out, he's finally in the swing of things with doing the pageant. He's like, oh, how does my satchel look? And
wet from the shoulder, wet from the hip. Hip, shoulder, waist, shoulder, waist, shoulders. Stewie wanted to still do the pageants. Of course, I need to be nice, not naughty. Then Peter says, wait a second, that gives me an idea.
Yeah, let's go look at the Christmas pageant for your mother. Alright, so they're off to the Christmas pageant, and Lois is just pulling a King Kong and just climbing directly up the Christmas tree.
I love how Joe is now in the season. Is now in the Holly Spirit after his drunken his drunken wrestling. He has leaves on his wheels now, so he's all embracing the holiday. And he's wheeling up to him, basically saying, "Oh, hey Peter, it was fun last night. Anyway, so yeah, we're just gonna shoot her down. We'll shoot her down now." He says, "Oh no, don't do that, Mr. Swanson." Says, "Oh, don't worry, honey. There's tranquilizers, which one of them fires and basically blows up the car." Apparently they're kinetic tranquilizers. Go figure. Point is, essentially Peter says, "Let me Joe have an idea. Just give me some time. Talk her down." He says, "Okay, you got 10 minutes." Mm-hmm. And go ahead.
And so, does Peter do any? I don't remember Peter saying anything.
No, it's
just Stewie.
No, Stewie's the only. Basically, Bonnie's there because she is a part of the place saying, "I'm the Virgin Mary. That's my story. I'm sticking to it." Then Stewie is born. They have a whole speech basically saying, essentially, Christmas is like a time to be nice to people. Essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
he mentions in
exchange, we hope our kindness is rewarded or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. With plutonium. And
then Lois is touched, and she sheds a tear,
tearing up, and then Peter's just like,
she puts back the star. Then Peter just nonchalantly says, "Okay, doesn't wait." I always love how he delivers it, just saying, "Okay, she's not getting you. Go on, take her down." Then he gets part of the tranquilizer, and she calmly goes to sleep with lasting ramifications. We then awaken, and it is now Christmas morning. And we see the gifts our Family Guy characters have gotten, a few at least. We see, in terms of gifts, okay, so I love Brian's little gag. It's a simple gag. It's like one of his logical logic. Not even illogical. It's kind of funny. It's like he opens, looks like, oh, I wonder what this is. It looks clearly like a bottle of alcohol, like a bottle of Jack Daniels or something wrapped up. He opens it. Oh, it's a book. Oh, hello. Then also Stewie got Hungry Hippos, which, I mean, come on, Stewie, don't complain about Hungry Hippos. That's a cool game.
Hippos is awesome.
Yeah.
And you can play Hungry Hippos instead of playing the waiting game when you're bored.
Yeah.
Homer Simpson reference.
Right. So, meanwhile, he says, Chris hands him another gift. Hey, little dude, you got another gift. Because that's how Seth Green used to deliver Chris.
Right,
anyway,
right.
So, opening the gift, open the lid, he sees a green glow, which we interpret as plutonium.
Oh,
It really does exist.
he is real. He's really, really real.
And Peter, with some time off, and a new VCR, and
Yes.
best of all, we get to see the ending to it at least. We see he gets a copy on VHS, and almost for a second I could have sworn, I must have been misremembering, because I could have sworn when I was going into this, because from memory I could have sworn Adam West gave him a copy of Kiss the Sands, but I was just thinking of the Jim
Is
Gordon
it in the same style as
Yes,
Mr. Gordon giving back?
That's what I thought it was. I know, but so you can't blame me though. If you hear a guy for Christmas, you would have thought that too, wouldn't you? Anyway, so essentially,
West, it's like our Christmas is all fine and all, but gosh darn it, we had to go Christmas shopping, and I missed Kiss Save Santa.
Rest assured, citizen.
Worry, Peter.
Rest assured, citizen, I have just the means to solve your holiday dilemma. Let me go get my VHS tape. Go, son. Have a Merry Christmas. Thanks, Adam West. Anyway,
that's priceless.
So we see the ending of the Kiss Save Santa. Take us through the ending.
So Santa, he's got a guitar. He's like, "Oh ho, thanks, boys." And then Kiss like, "Oh, you practiced that guitar, Santa." And then to end out the special Mrs. Claus, it's like, "Oh, don't encourage them. Don't encourage him." And then they all have a
Super Friends ending.
Just
laughing. Anyway, so let's see. Then essentially the whole thing ends there, but then we have like a little somewhat after credits. And we also it was established that Lois is drooling because the tranquilizer she's hit with enough tranquilizers to tranquilize an elephant. So we see at the end that basically all the Family Guy characters are basically wishing us a Merry Christmas, and Lois is stuck saying Happy New Year in her drug state.
Yes,
dun, 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 Adam West.
So thus ends a very special Freakin' Family Guy Christmas. One thing to get over, I pretty much think Stewie is the Scrooge. Would you agree?
Let me think. Yes, Stewie. Yeah, Stewie's a Scrooge. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the person who, he is all about materialistic gain. Throughout the episode, he's not really into the Christmas spirit. He doesn't want to have anything to do with the manger. And then, with the pageant and everything. And then,
Lois is a reverse Scrooge.
What?
Lois is a reverse Scrooge.
Pretty much, yeah.
So essentially, she's good in the opening, good and drugged at the end, but in the middle, she's bad.
Oh yes.
Taken out, so she's a reverse Scrooge. It's a rare case of a reverse Scrooge syndrome.
But no, I really do like Stewie's little Scrooge arc, because I do think it comes around quite nicely, because it, essentially he starts being nice just for material gain, but then by the end, I think he really does get the spirit of Christmas. You know what I mean? I think when he's delivering his speech, he's somewhat sincere. I mean, he does add in the empatonium thing, but you know what I mean? It's like he's gaining the Christmas spirit throughout the episode.
He gains the basic knowledge of Christmas, basically saying, okay, people get all worked up around this thing.
Yeah, and then by the end, he gets the plutonium, and he is just, he's just filled with Christmas joy. So, So yes. So overall, what are your thoughts about this episode? How do you You like it?
I liked it until the Road to the North Pole. This was definitely the Family Guy episode to revisit around the holidays. It's fun. It's simple. It's again, it's basically just we see the Griffins during the holidays, and our moral center goes a little nutty, and that fits for Family Guy. And we have to rein her back in. It's classic plotting family, but again, filled with really rewatching. I noticed a lot of the smart satire.
Oh yes,
It really didn't dawn on me until really thinking about it. Just it does take the classic Christmas conceits of the specials, and it's so funny because the big crux of the episode is about a Christmas special, Kiss Save Santa. And it
oh god, I love it.
and it does point, essentially what it's saying is that it's pointing out that yes, these are the classic things in a holiday special, but we're gonna have like a Family Guy twist on them all. So basically, we're gonna point out how silly the holidays can get still fun. So there is a lot of love in the special for these Christmas things we know true.
Oh, absolutely, true. Sure.
Oh, by the way, it was a really funny line that Brian had when he was convincing Joe.
Right.
Peter was convincing Joe to let him calm Lois down. Brian says, Joe trusts him because this man has seen every Christmas special ever made, which is fun and appropriate for the special. And also, if I can make another John P. McCann comparison with Kiss Save Santa for the ending.
Sure.
We see that by the end of Kiss Save Santa, our heroes have succeeded in the impossible, and they've reached Santa.
They somehow saved him from falling from his doom in the pterodactyl nest.
But also, what they've done more so is that they've embraced they've imparted a part of their philosophy onto Santa about the importance of playing guitar. And in retrospect, if you really want to draw comparisons, Lois kind of sees, yes, the holidays are crazy, but doesn't mean we should lose our focus, and we shouldn't lose our terms around the holiday. I mean, it's classic to get overwhelmed and so forth, or overwhelmed in the Kiss Say Santa case of being carried off by a pterodactyl. Point is, things can get crazy around the holidays, but you got to rein in. Just remember what it's all about, and you get a reward. And again, Lois's penance for her actions, and basically the Family Guy mark of that, like the thing she took from the Family Guy gang, would be being drugged and drooling.
Right.
So that's kind of her penance, and again that's her equivalent to getting a guitar from Kiss.
Oh, God.
Essentially. Mind you, a John P. McCann comparison, but take it for what you will.
All right, so I'd say it's safe to say that with this special, we've gone over a whole lot of formulas for these Christmas episodes at large, and gosh darn it, that's what these Christmas in Julys are all about. We here at Christmas in July, we're all about kind of trying to find. We believe that there's a true scientific formula to give us the best Christmas special possible, and gosh darn it, we're gonna find it.
Yes, excellent. No needs plutonium. No, I'm kidding. But how are we gonna do that, in all seriousness?
We're gonna do that by putting the mistletoe underneath the microscope next time on Christmas in July.
How deliciously evil!
Oh yes.
La 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 la.
Yeah.